It is Friday, April 15th of 2022, and this is a special edition. Guys Daily Drive. Bam! And good morning, everyone, and welcome to Guys Daily Drive. As you can tell, I am not in my car, or I am not in actually the car that I'm driving today. But today is the day that I'm doing the extra long bit of driving to get to my final destination, which is Birmingham, Alabama. So yesterday, I meant to get up at 4 a.m. because the goal was to be on the road before 5 o'clock to avoid all of the DC traffic. Fortunately, even though my alarm clock didn't go off, I woke up naturally about 5 o'clock. So I very quickly got up, got dressed, and I was out of the house with the car packed and on the road by a little after 5:30. And things started off pretty well. There wasn't any traffic on my side of the highway. A lot of it going north there was, but that's a typical for DC. And I got up to this one exit, and Waze was trying to get me to veer off and go to Route 1. And it was like, why would you do that? Everything was just looking so good and so wonderful that it was like, I'm not going to get off the highway just because that's what you want me to do. No, I don't want to do that. And then I found out why, because within less than a mile, traffic basically came to a standstill. There were two 18-wheelers and a car had a collision and basically blocked two of the three available lanes that they had on I-95. And so nobody was going anywhere. And by the time I kind of figured out what Waze was trying to get me to do, which was divert over to Route 1, it no longer mattered because Route 1 was now all ensnared in this mess. So I ended up just staying on I-95. But that took me over an hour and a half to get through, which really, really sucked because I had originally planned on meeting up with Guy Jr. and his lovely girlfriend Ashley for breakfast, and it threw all those plans into disarray because I was going to meet someone for lunch, and I couldn't stop for however long it was going to take to do breakfast and then still make it in a reasonable time to go to lunch, and then still make it in a reasonable time to meet someone else for dinner. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So continued on. I got past that, filled the car up with gas, and the car I have, it's a Dodge Durango. It's not the Hemi Dodge Durango, but it's a big car. It's a really, really big car. Bigger than I had actually kind of wanted, but because the rental car office close to my house is a relatively small one, if I didn't take the Dodge Durango, I would have been in a Chevy Spark. And it's like, I'm not driving all the way down to Birmingham, Alabama in a Chevy Spark. Just not going to do it. I don't even think I could fit in the damn thing. So basically, once I got past Richmond, because there was some traffic going into Richmond as well because of the time of the morning, it was pretty clear. And I got out to where I met my friend for lunch, and I haven't seen this woman in 40 years since I'd seen this woman. She was like 2 years behind me in high school. And we had a nice lunch at this like Mexican place, and just shot the shoot. So I don't want to curse, shot the shoot, and then got back on the road to go back to the Dun-Irwin area where I was going to meet with Tracy's Aunt Barbara and her daughter, our cousin Teresa. And it was about a 2-hour drive through mostly sort of back roads, to get to where I needed to go. And what I discovered was there were no bathrooms along that route. And so by the time I finally got to here, I was really, really so happy to get to the hotel because it wasn't fun. That last half hour or so was just not fun at all. So I made it to the hotel with no problem and met up with Barbara and Teresa at a place I hadn't gone to before, a barbecue place called Kim's. And the food was really, really good. And it was so great to see them. And I made sure that they got their little, I don't have it here, it's somewhere else in the room, this little bottle of the orange citron and honey tea that I've talked about before, which is just so tasty with hot water. And so now, and got back here to the room and basically just crashed. I played around with this stuff for a little bit, but I wasn't going to get all serious in the recording or anything. I did talk to Dave Ginsburg because he was getting ready to record In Touch with iOS last night live. And we both kind of decided that because hotel bandwidth can be shaky at best, that it probably wasn't a good idea for me to come on his show. So didn't get to try it. Didn't get to try that. So here I am this morning, and the plan is to pack all of this stuff up and then go to breakfast, get some breakfast. There's a place here called Triangle Waffle. Jesus is Lord. It's not open on Sundays, but it's a great little breakfast spot. And so I'll probably go there for breakfast, depending on what time I get out of here. I may want to, because I'm actually not seriously all that hungry. Between the relatively big lunch and the relatively big dinner, just not super hungry this morning. But we'll see. I should have something going inside of me before I hit the road. So it's going to depend on how I feel once I get everything packed up and loaded into the car and have the opportunity to get going, because I have to fill the car up with gas again. I filled it up yesterday after I got past all the crap that was in like around the Fredericksburg area. And oh my God, it cost me almost $80 to fill that sucker up. It's got a much bigger tank than the Kia Soul does, and naturally does not get as good a gas mileage. But with a full tank of gas, it gets me about 400 miles from the best I could tell, as compared to the Kia, which was like 320. So it has better range, but Jesus, it sure as hell should for costing me that much money in gas. So once I get out of here, maybe not, get some breakfast. I'm driving all the way today to Birmingham, which I think is about 6 to 7 hours, depending on how many stops I make. And so, tonight I'm going to be in Birmingham, and then tomorrow, of course, is the game at 7:30. And if you tune into that game, it's going to be on Fox and I think NBC as well at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. If they do any crowd shots, keep an eye out for me. I'll be wearing a black T-shirt, and of course, I'll have my long hair. I'll be wearing a hat, not this hat, but the T-shirt and the hat is going to have, or already has, Washington Federals, which is an old defunct team from the previous version of the USFL. It's like their logo and stuff. So just keep an eye out and see if you see me in the crowd. I don't know how much of a crowd there's going to be. Tickets for the games are relatively inexpensive. It's like $25 for the better seats, midfield. But it's, again, it's the cheaper seats were $10, so it's not like it's a big difference. And then on Sunday, I plan on going to at least 2 of the games on Sunday as well. And then I'll go back to the hotel, get a good night's sleep, get up early on Monday, and start my drive back. Now, which way I go home is probably going to depend slightly on how quickly I get onto the road, because I'd like to stop here again on my way back up to see Barbara and Teresa. And see them one more time on my way back, even though it adds about an hour and a half to the drive going that way. But I don't really think I'm going to be able to go all the way from Birmingham to Washington, D.C. in one go. I mean, I could. It's like 11 to 12 hours. And that's just a little bit long. That's a little bit long for me to go on a trip like that. But that's basically what's going on, and everything, and I packed all this stuff not really knowing exactly how it was all going to connect. And if you saw the pictures of the setup, I've got a separate little monitor here, I've got the laptop, I've got a webcam, and I've got the Elgato Wave 3 microphone. And when I started to set all this up, it was like, well, let's see, I got this piece and I got this piece. It was all kind of ad hoc, putting everything together, but it all worked. It all worked really, really great. So now I have a pretty good idea on exactly the stuff that I would need to set all this up again. And I won't have to just cram a bunch of stuff into a bag to make sure I have enough. The only thing I might change or add would be a different arm for the microphone, because I've just got it on like a standard kind of raise up, lower mic stand, and it's working. It is working pretty well. But I would have liked to have had a little more control and be able to bring it a little bit closer, which I'm in kind of a tight spot here, so I can't move around stuff too much. But this works okay, and the microphone being a condenser means that it picks up pretty well. And we'll see what it sounds like when I go to edit, which won't be today, or not, at least not this morning. So that is going to do it, I think, today for Guy's Daily Drive. Thank you all so very, very much for joining me, whether you've watched live or whether you're going to watch it later on. I appreciate the fact that you've done so. And if you would like to get a hold of me, email address is guy@mymac.com or podcast@vertshark.com. Excuse me. The Twitter addresses are MacParrot and VertShark. You can find this content and all of the content over on YouTube under under the VertShark name. So just go to YouTube, look up VertShark, and then like, share, subscribe. Did you see it the first time? Like, share, subscribe. So easy. Just that's all you got to do. There's also, of course, the My Mac podcast that I may or may not be doing tomorrow, depending on what Gaz's plans are, because it's pretty much up to him. He's running the show tomorrow, and also it's going to depend on what my bandwidth is like at the next hotel. See, over here, it seems like it was pretty good, but we'll see. What else? There's the vertshark.com, which is, am I still live? I am still live. Okay, just checking. vertshark.com, which is my website where you can see all of the odds and all of the vids. What else? Oh, yeah, if you'd like to support me in my crazy microphone and driving nearly 1,000 miles to watch a football game because reasons, you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/MacParrot. You can go to coffee, ko-fi.com/MacParrot, or you can pay a pal at paypal.me/MacParrot. And that is all the various ways that you can contact me and support me and all the things that you do. I frankly just appreciate it if you have taken the time to watch and or listen to this content. And that's going to be it. So I will see all of you next time right here on Guy's Daily Drive. Bye-bye.